Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Boy Kurwan Rusdi. I am from 3SG9. I'm here to explain about understanding honeypot, and I am from group 6. The first one is the background of honeypot. Honeypot is a computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counter attempts to unauthorized use of information system. Generally, a honeypot consists of data. For example, in a network site that appears to be legitimate, part of the site seems to contain information or resource of value attackers, but actually is isolated and monitored and enables blocking or analyzing the attackers. This is similar to police sting operation, colloquially known as baiting a suspect. The next one is, what is honeypot? Honeypot is a security mechanism that creates a virtual trap to lure attackers. An intentionally compromised computer system allows to exploit vulnerabilities so you can study them to improve your security policies. You can apply a honeypot to any computing resource, from software and networks to file server and routers. Honeypots are a type of deception technology that allows you to understand attackers' behavior patterns. Security teams can use honeypots to investigate cybersecurity breaches to collect intel on how cyber criminals operate. Next one is, there is two types of honeypot designs. The first one is production honeypot and research honeypot. The production honeypot is serve as decoy system inside fully operating networks and servers, often as part of intrusion detection system or IDS. They deflect criminal attention from the real system, while analyzing malicious activity to help mitigate vulnerabilities. Second one is research honeypot, used for educational purpose and security enhancement. They contain trackable data that you can trace stolen data to analyze detect. There are three types honeypot deployments that permit threat actors to perform different levels of malicious activity. The first one is pure honeypots. Pure honeypots is a complete production system that monitor attackers through bug taps on the link that concerns the honeypot to the network. They are unsophisticated. Second one is low interaction honeypot, intimate service and system that frequently attract criminal attention. They offer a method for collecting data from blind attacks such as bondage and worms malware. The third one is high interaction honeypot, complex setup that behave like real production infrastructure. They don't restrict the level of activity of a cyber criminal, providing extensive cybersecurity insights. However, they are higher maintenance and require expertise and the use of additional technology like virtual machine to ensure attackers cannot access the real system. This is an example about cases honeypot. In 2015, internet security experts set up an online runway control system as a honeypot bait. The goal was to study how criminals would attack projects where they could put the public at risk. In this case, the only damage done was to a model train set at a German technology conference. Over 2 weeks, the so-called honey train suffered 2.7 million attacks. The next one is the history of honeypot. The concept honeypot is believed to have been around for a long time. In 1990, Guilford Stoll published a book called The Cuckoo's Egg. This book tells the real events during a 10-month period in 1986 to 1987. Stoll is an astronomer at the Lawrence Berkeley Lab who administers computers for the astronomers. A whopping 25 cents in the accounting made him aware of a hacker named Hunter who had attacked into a system. Okay, this is the system architecture of honeypot. General system design of honeypot architecture is shown in this picture. As you can see, entire network is firstly protected by a firewall, then by a router, and compartmented data layers are separated from network inside the organization and outside customers or operation networks. This is how honeypot works. Step 1, DigitalOcean and Ubuntu server. In this step, you will be setting up an Ubuntu server on DigitalOcean. And then you will need to sign into your DigitalOcean account with the username and password you enter. And then you will need to set up your droplet. In this instance, we will be using the bare minimum required to run our server. Once we have finished, we will be using website GUI frontend, so the underlying OS is not overly important. However, in this instance, we will be using Ubuntu. Next, we will be choosing specification of our common server. The server will be taking information given by our sensor to performing any overly complicated task. Step 2 is setting up the control server. Now we have to set up the backend for our server. We will now need to add a modern honeypot network or MHN framework to our server. Step 2.1, installing a command line interface tool. For the remainder of this tutorial, we will be using the command line interface or CLI on Ubuntu. That being the case, we will need a tool we can use to operate this. In this instance, I will be using a tool called PuTTY, which is a free tool that can be used for an array of tasks. Once you have downloaded PuTTY of their website, you can launch it like array any other .exe program. Step 2.2, accessing your server and installing MHN. After you have completed the task, you will need to enter your IP that you were emailed by DigitalOcean into the section on PuTTY that asks for hostname or IP address. And then after you done this, select open. You will be taken to a CLI. You will be asked to enter server username and passwords. Okay. Eventually, you will need to be greeted by a prompt asking for your enter an array question for your honeypot. This will depend solely on what you want to set them as. However, see the image below for an example of an input. After the above, the script will be continue to configure the modern honeypot. And then after that, after the installation has taken place, you will then be able to visit your server via web browser. If you point your web browser to the IP address sent to you by DigitalOcean, you will be able to access your server web GUI. Steps was required to set up MHN on your main command server and to create the GUI interface you will use day to day. This stage will take approximately 30 minutes due to the installation time. Step 3, deploying sensor. In this stage, you should finish the completion of your modern honeypot network setup or MHN. After this stage, you should have set up at least one sensor based off AWS that will be communicated back to your command server. You can achieve this by following the below steps. Step 3.1, set up AWS instance. After create your AWS account, you will need to directed to a screen detailing an array of Amazon Web Service. In the screen, you are looking for the label EC2 that in red square rectangle. After that, you will need to locate a button label launch instance. And then next, you will continue through the setup processing, selecting the next button as appropriate. This being until you reach the step 6, configure security group page. Okay, after that you can review your setup and then finally launch. Once you have selected this, you will be asked to make a key pair. Once you have created your key pair, you will need to download it. After you have completed the above stage, you will have set up on AWS server, and you can view it by selecting the instance button. Stage 3.2, accessing your instance via PuTTY. As PuTTY does not accept the default PEM-key files that AWS creates, we will need to convert it. You can do this by using tool puttygen.exe, of which you should have been downloaded along with PuTTY. Once open, you will need to select load and then find save private key and save it as name as you keywords on AWS. After you're done this, you will need to open up PuTTY again and go to category, connection, SSH, and then out. Once here, you will need to browse to your newly created key file. And then once you have done in this, you will need to SSH into Ubuntu server. Do this by following the image. After you have SED into the server, you will once again convert by a CLI, which should allow you to access on your Ubuntu instance. Step 3.3, run the sensor script. Now you have a working AWS instance. We can now run a bash script to connect into your command server. To do this, you will need to sign into your command server via your website GUI and go to deploy section. Once in this section, you will need to select Ubuntu/snark. In the deploy command section, you will be presented with a script. Copy the script into your AWS CLI and wait for it to be complete. Once complete, you can also keep Kipo as vulnerable Juniper net screen and enter that into your CLI. And this is the conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion is, honeypot is a useful tool for luring and trapping attackers, capturing information. Security is the essential element of any organization website. But through the security provided by the honeypots based on hardware setups are very expensive for small and medium scale of organization. A software-based honeypot may be proven as very effective security solution. So this is the suggestion, the advantage and disadvantage. Honeypots are conceptually very simple. There are no fancy algorithm to develop, setable to maintain, or signatures to update. And then the second one, honeypots are designed to capture anything we'll throw at them, including tools or tactics that have never been seen before. The third one, honeypots require minimal resources. They only capture bad activity. And the next one is disadvantage. It can only track you and capture activity that directly interact with them. It will not capture attacks against other systems unless the attacker interacts with the honeypots also. The second one can be used by an attacker to attack other system. The third one can potentially be detected by the attacker. Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope you